So, let's just talk about home education for a moment. So those of you who may not understand in the wider public walking around what home education is actually the default. It's what you do the moment you take your baby home from hospital, or if you have your baby at home, it's what you do from day one. You raise your child, they learn to walk and talk, they learn how to communicate, they learn how to do all the things, and you support that. As they become a toddler, you visit places, you explain the world, they learn about communication, interaction, and they develop interests. Home education is just the natural progression of this. When your child hits compulsory school age, so when they're about to turn 5, our primary law says that your child has to either be in school or educated otherwise. And the educated otherwise is just the default. So lots of parents here today have chosen to not outsource their children's education, but to carry on that wonderful journey that they started right from those baby days onwards. Home education looks differently for everybody. So for some people, it might involve workbooks and structure, timetables. For most people, it's a mixture of lots of different things. For some, it is autonomous learning. So it is exactly the same as following that interest of that toddler. You follow that interest of your child growing up. They're into dinosaurs. You learn about dinosaurs. You do dinosaur maths. You write some stuff about dinosaurs. You go and visit dinosaurs. Whatever it is they're interested in, and their interests will develop. So it doesn't stay the same. As they grow, as they mature, they find interest in other areas, their interests become more developed, and what's lovely is they can learn at the rate that suits them. So I've known 8-year-olds who are incredible engineers who can take things apart, put them back together again, really competently. I've also known children who are not necessarily confidently writing until they're 12 or 13, but their journey has taken them another way, they've developed other skills, and when they're ready to, they can become the most incredible wordsmiths, if that's their destiny. But you know what? We're all different. No one here as an adult is the same, so our children don't have to be the same. They don't have to be taught the same, they don't have to look the same, they don't have to have the same opinions. We are all unique. The key to a happy, healthy child and the best education is a supportive environment where they are nurtured and loved and encouraged to be brave, to take risks, to step out into the world. So, the Children's Wellbeing in Schools Bill. The government, most 99% of the government don't understand home education. They have funny ideas about what it is. They don't understand. Because they went to school. They went to school, they have friends that went to school, they all go to school. It's understandable that they don't get it, which is why it's our responsibility to educate them as to what it is and what it is about. And to why it's not their right to take away our rights. Okay? So this is not a campaign of anger, of aggression. This is a campaign of education. So the bill is saying we want to know where all the home educators are. We want their names, numbers and addresses. And not only that, but we'd like to know what they're doing every day. And we'd like to know the names, numbers and addresses of everybody who is providing an education to that child. Well, that's going to be a bit tricky.
We get your name and address then.
Yes, absolutely. I'll give my name and address at the end. So, shopkeepers, parent-run groups, swimming pools, museums,
other children.
Woods.
Other children.
Library.
Who do you learn from most? The people around your community. Granddad. Tinkering.
Nanny.
Okay, our children learn all the time in different ways, and so it is impossible to provide that level of information. And you've only got 15 days to do it. Now, I've home educated for 17 years. My eldest is now at college. The second one is about to go. That is it. And I can tell you now, if I had to provide the information about everywhere we go and everything we've done and everywhere they have learned, I would have been spending my life writing letters. And if this bill comes to pass, I encourage you to spend your life writing handwritten, detailed letters that the council will need to read and respond to. And I would say, make them long. So not only this, but I can't really name my business because it's not allowed to campaign, but I run an education centre and I support hundreds of home ed children every week, and some come for an hour, some come for a couple of days. It's going to be my obligation to share that information with the government, with the local authority, which to me is a complete breach of privacy, a complete breach of GDPR, and we don't have the financial capacity to produce that information, and we don't want to.
No.
Safeguarding. Safeguarding is all our responsibility. We are all responsible for looking out for our family, our friends, our neighbours, and for reporting concerns that we have, the genuine concerns, to get advice, support, and report it on. That is all our obligation as individuals. We have systems in place to manage that. We have departments, we have safeguarding teams. We have that in place already. However, it's underfunded, it's understaffed, and the local authorities are on the verge of bankruptcy, and their staff are stressed and off on sick. So when it comes to problems arising, they are not being followed through properly, which was the case in the tragic life and death of Sarah Sharif, and was the case in many times where we have seen the words home education conflated with safeguarding. Making a decision to withdraw a child at the 11th hour and for something awful to happen to them is nothing to do with home education. Sarah Sharif was on multiple registers. She was on a child protection register from when she was a couple of days old. She was on her school register. She was reported, her concern was reported to the social services, and it wasn't dealt with. The case was closed. It was a multi-agency failure, just as Victoria Kalimbi was a multi-agency failure. And back then, we said never again. We, as parents, should be furious that that was allowed to happen, let alone that we have been, as home educators, locked in as responsible. If we want good safeguarding, we need our Sure Start centres back. We need community-free, point of access community services that are open to everyone, which means having groups for English speakers and non-English speakers, having groups for men, having groups for women, having groups for all genders. It means having lots of variety so that people have places to go and connect, they can build trust, and that's when the conversations happen. If you know something is going wrong somewhere and you do not trust your local council and you don't trust the government, maybe you've had really difficult dealings with them, who do you turn to when there's a problem? You don't. And that's when it happens, that's when people fall through the net, okay? So we need lots of services so that we are all connected, so that we all have somewhere safe to go, so that we can report and say, you know what, I'm a bit worried about this, and there will be trusted people who can deal with that for you. This is not about dobbing on your neighbours. This is not about, oh, I saw someone the other day and they had jam on their t-shirt. I don't think they're being looked after because I'm sorry, you're going to have to come to my house first. This is about real concerns. Our country has become isolated. We have become divided. We need to come together. Our social media is fantastic. It's brought us all here today, but we also need to be able to put that down and connect with our families and our neighbours. and we need to come together and stand together. So whether you are here today, and I'm going to talk about this a bit later, I'm going to talk about schools, and I'm going to talk about why I want schools to be better and how I want them to be better. Because this is not an anti-school campaign. This is not a home education only campaign. This is about parents being empowered to parent and given the skills to parent. This is about parents having the freedom to make that choice, to look after their child and to raise them and educate them at home in the most enriching, fantastic, tailor-made, unique way possible. This is about change. This is about reform, and this is about educating the nation. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Jen. Thank you.